There are lots of interesting places to visit that are close to Cowldke Farm. There are plenty of picturesque villages and historical sites and other tourist attractions. Now, this is a picture of York Minster. York is our closest large city, and Helmsley Castle is not far away, and just beyond Helmsley Castle, Riveau Abbey. In this part of the video we'll have a look at what's in our immediate area and have a trip over the moors to the seaside. If you've seen the television programme All Creatures Great and Small, you must have seen some of the scenery of the North Yorkshire moors within that programme, as James Herriot, the vet, drove from one job to the next. And another programme that has some of our local scenery is Heartbeat, which is not particularly based on top of the moors, but certainly some of the shots have been taken for that programme around our area. Now, as we leave our local village of Great Edgston, we'll see in the distance as we go around the corner Kirkbymoorside with the North York moors just behind. Now, Kirkbymoorside itself is a nice small market town, and on the right where you see that van park there's usually a market one day a week with some stalls just there on the cobbles. So if you need any shopping, Kirkbymoorside is very handy for that. And just beyond Kirkbymoorside, of course, are the magnificent North York moors. The North York moors are the largest expanse of continuous moorland in England. Now, this is a picture of Farndale looking up towards the head of the dale, and up in the little village at the top of the dale there's a pub if you fancy a drink, or maybe a pub meal at dinner time. And this one is looking the other way, down the dale towards in the direction of Kirkbymoorside. And Bransdale is the next dale along from Farndale, and that's looking up to the head of Bransdale. And this one is looking back down the dale, unfortunately into the sun a little bit, so it's a little bit dark at the bottom of that picture. Now, this is Hutton-Le-Hole, which is the nearest village to Kirkbymoorside, and this particular village has won prizes for being the best kept village. And as you can see, it's got a stream running through it and some very nice white railings which really set off the local buildings and the village green in the middle there. This is a view down Hutton-Le-Hole High Street. There's a pub on the left there, and immediately next to the pub is Riveau Heritage Museum, and in there they have some old buildings that you can look at from days gone by. And this one is looking in the other direction. You can just pick out the red sign of the post office on the right there. And just along the road from Hutton is Appleton-Le-Moors, a nice quiet village, and you can just see the Moors pub sign just on the left of the picture there. As we head off towards the coast, we go through Pickering and then over the moors towards Whitby. Now, on the way, at the side of the road on your left, you'll see the Hall of Horcum. Now, there's a car park at the side of the road, so you can park up and take a look at this wonderful view from the side of the road. Now, in Pickering there's a steam railway which goes through similar countryside to this. It doesn't go through the Hall of Horcum, but this will give you some idea of the kind of scenery that the steam railway goes through. Once we get towards Whitby, we can turn slightly off to the right and go to the quaint old fishing village of Robin Hood's Bay. Now, this is a view from the old railway track that runs from Whitby to Scarborough, which is now a very nice footpath and bridleway. And here's another view from that same bridleway. You can just pick out Robin Hood's Bay nestling in the cliffs there, just towards the left. And if you go slightly further on, this is a view from the next bit of land that juts out into the North Sea at Ravenscar, looking back towards Robin Hood's Bay. When you go to the village itself of Robin Hood's Bay, there's a car park at the top and a very steep street down into the village itself and down to the sea at the bottom. Halfway down is the Laurel Pub on a very sharp bend. That's the white building there in the middle of the picture. And on the way down there is the occasional interesting shop and one or two cafes. At the bottom is another pub called the Ship, and the sea, when it comes right in, climbs up those cobbles in the foreground there and just washes against the sea wall by the Ship Inn. And here's a view from a little bit further out on the beach. You can see the cobble, where the cobbles start in the foreground there, and the Ship Inn is the white building up on the right hand side there. If you go to Robin Hood's Bay when the tide is out, you can play on the sands okay, and there are plenty of rock pools, but also it's quite a good place for finding fossils that are washed out of the cliffs by the sea. So if you're into fossils, you may fancy doing a bit of fossils hunting while you're at Robin Hood's Bay. Now, as we walk back up the other street, that is a dead end, all the streets in Robin Hood's Bay are very narrow, with quaint buildings and a few interesting shops. And they have alleyways and plenty of cobblestones to walk over. And there are plenty of little nooks and crannies for investigation. And all in all, it's an extremely nice village to visit, and is a must for anyone visiting Cowldke Farm. And after your day out exploring the North York Moors, or going to the seaside, or stately home, or York maybe, it's back to Cowldke Farm to get your feet up in front of your lovely nice warm log fire.